Halloween's right around the corner, and Bethesda's definitely getting into the spirit because Mischief Night is officially back in Fallout 76. That's right, from October 7th through October 21st, we're getting 2 full weeks of chaos, candy, and carnage. The event's better than ever this year, and trust me, you definitely don't want to miss out. Before we get into why this event is such a must grind, let's quickly break it down for anyone who's never done Mischief Night before. It's actually super simple, tons of fun, and extremely chaotic, which is why it's easily one of the community's favorite seasonal events. But just like every other seasonal event, every hour on the top of the hour, the event will pop up on the map. First thing to note, you'll need to be wearing a costume to actually earn chaos towards the progression meter, because this obviously is a progression event. So basically all you got to do is you got to spawn in, talk to Jester, and then he will send you to an area. First one's the field, then the cabins, and then like the upper vertibird area. But you just have to go up there and cause chaos and mischief, and then you do that. But you have to be wearing a costume. If not, there are some free costumes up by Jester at the start of the event if you don't have one. And you don't have to be wearing a full costume. It could just be like a Fashionat mask or anything like that. Once you start, though, like I said, you'll move through 3 different areas, causing mischief, blowing things up like fireworks, lighting pyres, trick-or-treating, and of course, slaying tons of Lost. After moving through each phase, you'll face 3 legendary Assaultrons, then destroy a vertibird to wrap things up. The whole event doesn't take long, maybe 5 minutes, but it can be a little chaotic, so make sure you're racking up those kills and staying active the entire time, because again, there is like an infinite spawn of Lost while you are going through and ranking up that meter. So if your team isn't going through and like lighting pyres or destroying fireworks, you're going to have to kill a lot of Lost to actually progress, so just keep that in mind. Make sure you're doing all of the additional objectives. Again, shoot the firework boxes around the map, light all of the pyres that are around the map, trick-or-treat from all of the trick-or-treat bulbs, and then of course kill as many Lost as you possibly can, and then boom, the event will be over within 5 minutes. Now, you might be asking, why should I grind Mischief Night? Is it really better than all of the seasonal events? Are the rewards actually worth it? Is it a good XP or legendary farm? What makes this event so special? Well, let's break it down, because there's actually a couple of reasons why I think that you should grind Mischief Night as much as you possibly can over the course of the next 2 weeks. First off, this event is amazing for XP. You could easily earn around 20,000 XP in just a few minutes if you've got your lunchboxes popped. The constant waves of Lost make it a top tier farming spot, in my opinion. Obviously, you could run Westek and you could run the raids and get a bunch of XP also, but if you haven't completed your rank 100 for the season yet, this is a great way to snag some extra score, just because you will get an ungodly amount of XP within a couple of minutes. So just keep that in mind. Again, kill as much Lost as you can. They don't give the most XP, but there's just an insane amount of them. Now, on top of that, since the event spawns once every hour, it's a great way to push your season rank, especially once you're past rank 100, like I said. Remember, after rank 100, you can't earn score anymore from XP. So the events are going to be the key to keep your rank climbing, and since there are going to be an additional 24 events per day, you could actually, level your season rank up a decent amount without really having to try too hard, just from doing one extra event here and there per hour. I guarantee you a lot of people are going to jump drastically in their season rank over the next 2 weeks, just because of how good, 1, this is for XP, and 2, it is because it's a seasonal event. It's going to constantly pop up every single hour. It's a guaranteed little push towards the 1 out of 3 events completed to get that 500 score. Now, obviously, each Mischief Night run, will give you at least 3 legendaries, like I mentioned earlier, thanks to those Assaultrons in the final stage. Now, whether you're a low-level player stocking up on some fresh gear, this is perfect for you. If you're level 50, 20, 30, 100, this is going to be a great way to farm up some extra legendaries. And then even if you're a veteran looking for some legendary modules, or of course a legendary certain crafting plan or anything like that, this is going to be a great way to get some extra legendaries, at least 3 per hour, in addition to whatever else you're farming. But at least, if you're only going to play Fallout 76 for Mischief Night, you could come back every single hour, grab 3 legendaries, and then go on with the rest of your day. Now, of course, I'm going to mention Probably a surprising perk of this event, in my opinion, and at least in some other people's opinions. Now, you can farm these in the Wasteland through other means, but it's just like a passive farm. Now, you can actually farm tons of sugar bombs through this event. That means crafting brain bombs for even more XP gains. Now, you could load up because you could get food items from this event, and you could get a bunch of sugar bombs. The most sugar bombs I've ever gotten was 2 from this event, but again, you could do the same thing with Fashnan. You could kind of event stagger, server jump, and then go into another Mischief Night, depending on when they started it, or even go on through the private servers and everything, and you could stash hundreds of extra sugar bombs that you could use to make brain bombs, like I said, just for extra XP, and you could even throw them in your stash or on your mules, and then boom, there you go. You have a bunch of extra XP on demand whenever you need it. Now, obviously, there are some new plans as well that are going to be a huge draw for people that I'm going to get into right now. So, like I said, the main draw of the returning event is going to be the brand new rewards and the plans. They all look amazing, but you'll also be able to sell these plans if you don't learn them. Like, if you have duplicates of the plans, you'll be able to sell them, and everyone knows when there are limited time items in Fallout 76, especially Halloween items, they always resell for an insane amount of caps, or you could even be traded for legendary gear or 4-star mods. Now, if you're like me and you're buying up every single 4-star legendary mod that you can from vendors, you're going to need those quick caps, so this is a great way to stack up on your caps or stack up on your vendor supply or anything like that. Now, these rewards will definitely be highly sought after, like I said. I will show some of them on the screen. I'm going to show the highlights probably. I won't show them all, but I will list them all. And again, shout out to Nuka Knights as always for getting all of this information. And like I said, I'm going to name all of the plans right now and then talk about the highlights. You should see some of the best ones on screen now that I think will probably resell for the most amount of caps or have the highest trading potential. Some of these you could probably even trade for Fashnot masks in the future and everything like that. Like, give it a couple weeks, maybe a couple months and everything like that, when some of the people that missed Mischief Night come back and everything, they're definitely going to want these plans. But starting off the top, we have the Bat plushie. Then we have the Bat plushie backpack, which is going to be awesome. We have the bony arm sconce, I think. A sconce. I don't know how to pronounce that, actually. Let me know in the comments if I'm butchering it. Then we have the cauldron hot tub, which is probably the nicest addition to the hot tub genre in the camp menu. Then we have the crooked metal fence, the cultist lamp, the Deathclaw gargoyle statue, the hay bale throne, the Jack in the Box backpack, the Jack-o'-lantern backpack flare, the large Deathclaw gargoyle statue, which I didn't think they needed 2 of them, the scorpion plushie, a third backpack with the scorpion plushie backpack, a skeletal weapon rack, which is actually pretty sick. And then finally, we have one rare outfit. We have the Spooky Scarecrow headpiece and the Spooky Scarecrow outfit. So you will need to get both of those drops in order to learn the full outfit. Now, out of all of these, the 3 backpacks will sell for a lot. I guarantee backpack plans always sell for a bunch of caps, like 10,000, 20,000 caps. Then obviously the Cauldron Hot Tub will sell for a lot in terms of the actual camp plans and everything like that. I guarantee it, because the hot tubs are mainly locked behind season rewards and atomic shops, and I think this is like the first one that you could actually get as a event reward. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think that this is the first one that you could get like in game just from playing without having to like purchase it from a gold vendor or purchase it from the atomic shop or anything like that. And then finally, obviously, that one outfit, the Scarecrow outfit, both the head and the actual outfit itself will sell for a decent chunk of change in the near future. Basically, once the event's over, you could sell all of these for some crazy quick caps. And obviously, I know some people are going to say it in the comments, so I just wanted to mention this is a new event, and it's Bethesda, so it obviously has a decent amount of bugs. There are some cons, there are a couple of downsides that slightly ruin the vibe from time to time if it happens to you, but it doesn't ruin the entire event. Overall, I would still say that this is like a 9.5 out of 10 in terms of a Fallout event. I think that this is great, but there are some cons, like I said. So we obviously have performance issues. Now, just like the other seasonal event that was added in spring with the flowers and everything like that, it does have some performance issues just because of how how chaotic it is. Mischief Night, obviously, no surprise here, can be extremely laggy. There's frame drops, rubber banding, and of course the occasional crash. It's chaotic, but that's part of the Fallout fun. Obviously it does suck if you miss out on a plan, especially if you're running out of time to get all of the plans, but that's why you gotta grind as much as you possibly can, because it's Bethesda. It just works, unfortunately. I mean, yeah, a lot of people are just having a laggy nightmare with it. I think it's fun. I haven't had too many issues with it. I have noticed, obviously, some of the lag. I recorded, like, a couple of hours of footage of me actually going through the event and everything like that, and every single time it was slightly laggy, so I do apologize about that if you notice some of the stuttering here and there, but that's just because of the event. Literally, the rest of the gameplay that I recorded throughout that session was completely fine. It's just the event is a little laggy, unfortunately. And then obviously, probably I would say the biggest issue in my opinion is how fast the event goes by. The whole thing usually wraps up in about 5 minutes. People just rush through it, so if you're not there or if you're preoccupied when the event starts, and if you only miss 5 minutes of it or even 4 minutes of it, you're probably going to miss out on the whole entire event, if not 90% of it. So unfortunately, make sure you're not doing anything like 5 minutes before the refresh of the hour, so you could actually make it to participate in the event, just because, again, you will spawn in, someone will start it within the first 35 seconds, and they will go out there and try and do the event on their own, because you can solo it. It's not a difficult event. It's just a little chaotic when there are 30 people, 20 people running around, all shooting Tesla rifles, tagging every single lost in sight. So just keep that in mind. It's extremely laggy, and it's over very fast. So if you do crash, chances are you're probably not going to be able to get back into your game and collect any rewards. So just be careful with what weapons you use when playing the event. If you saw I was using a Tesla rifle, maybe don't use a Tesla rifle, because that will crash your game and maybe other people's games, so just keep that in mind. Well, and there we have it, ladies and gents of the Wasteland. We've made it to the end of another Fallout 76 video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it useful. I know this event came out a few days ago, but I just wanted to make a video highlighting how fun this event is, and definitely all of the new items that you should go out and get. Obviously, it's not any game-breaking items, but this is probably going to be like the last bit of like enjoyable fun that everyone's going to have before the new update comes out and everyone starts grinding really, really, really hard. So if you can get these new plans, have some fun while you're doing it, because again, that December update is literally right on the horizon, and Halloween's supposed to be fun. Grab some of your friends, go out there, complete some Mischief Nights, make sure you try and get all of the new rewards and everything like that. I think they're all worthwhile. At least if you're going to play the game anyway, you might as well go out there and do the dang spooky event. But as always, I appreciate you motherfuckers for watching this motherfucking video, and I'll see you out there in the Wasteland.